And the next time is on Saturday against Barnet. They're down the bottom of the table, you're at the top. It would be simple just to say that you should win that game, wouldn't it?
It would, but we came unstuck against Port Vale in similar circumstances a month or two ago, so we're not going to fall into that trap. And I'm sure Mark McGee and his players will have every sort of aspiration to get a result, and we have to make sure we do our best to prevent that. So it's like every other week, really. You enter into it knowing the pitfalls, making sure you're as positive as you can be, but also being concerned about what could go wrong. And I think that's what we do every week, and we'll do the same with Barnet. And we know they've got good players, and we know, we've been strong at home, but it counts for nothing until the final whistle's blown and you've won. So yeah, we're ready for the game.
Where on Barnet do you see their main strengths being, ones that you'd have to kind of look to keep out?
Yeah, as always, we will go through and list those things. I'm not going to say it in the press, and if you don't mind, but it probably goes without saying, but I'd rather not say it. But we go through that process every week, and even if a team's had something that's not fired recently, they can fire. These teams, the differences between the top and the bottom aren't always that great, and almost every team in this league can produce a performance. So we just have to make sure we don't allow them to. On
you then, you rotated the squad a little bit, or the team a little bit for the Boxing Day game. They ended up not playing full 90, but you seem to have a kind of like a nice sort of nucleus of players that are available to you at the minute.
Yeah, we've got a good squad. I suppose there's two ways to look at that. One is you've got competition for places, and the other way to look at it is you can rotate. I'm not sure that it was rotation so much on Boxing Day. Maybe one or two players, but I think generally, I have to make sure I rotate when the players are under sort of physical stress. And 2 games this weekend, for example, in 3 days is a lot of football for those that maybe already are vulnerable to an injury or two because of some sort of overload in their play, and fatigue. But there's also an element of players not playing well enough, and there being players in behind them that are able, ready to go, and want to put pressure on. So there was some element of rotation, and there was also some element of me selecting players who were ready to go to replace those that hadn't done well enough.
It's only a couple of games away from. Actually, no, I'll come to that in a minute. Top of the table is incredibly tight. I think before the game on Boxing Day, there's something like 4 points separated you in third and 11th, I think, and having not played, you've dropped down a few places. But it is even more vital, I suppose, to get as many points as you can with these games coming so thick and fast at the minute.
Yeah, I think you've got to realise that being in a good position in the league, there's a positivity and a confidence that builds by being in a good position and looking at the table. But on the other hand, you also have to keep in mind that it's about where you are on the last day of the season, and there are X amount of games to go, so there's 20 games plus to go, and it's about an overall points tally we gain from those 20 odd games, and we've got a target, I suppose, that we will look to, and whether we get maximum points this week or Monday or whenever it is, we need a certain amount of points. So sometimes you have to avoid being too precious about where you sit in the league, although it does help a lot with confidence and positivity. But there's little you can do when you have a game abandoned, other teams win. You are incapable of affecting the league. But we know we have to win a certain amount of games, whether it's this Saturday or another Saturday. We've got to win games as many as we can.